Hey everyone, this is Josh Hayward and welcome to another edition of the Find Your Craft Show. I hope that you all are having an amazing day today. I've got a very special beer for you guys this evening. This is Sycamore Brewing's Rainbow Dust. And this is a IPA from Sycamore Brewing out of Charlotte, North Carolina. If you followed along with any of my videos, you know that I feature Sycamore quite regularly, as I do with many of the Charlotte breweries. Last week we took a look at the Juice Willis IPA. The week before that, I believe, or the week before that, or 2 weeks before that, we took a look at the Mango Milkshake IPA, which is called the Big Fat Juicy. So they've been putting out some great brews as of late. These are kind of small batches. I call them small batches, limited canned releases. Rainbow Dust being one of those. The Big Fat Juicy was a double IPA, kind of a milkshake IPA. Juice Willis was another double IPA, kind of your hazy New England style. And this is Rainbow Dust, just standard IPA. So the ABV is a little lower on this one, 7.1% actually. So we're going to give this a pour and see what we've got. And I will try my best to remember kind of how those other ones tasted for a little bit of context. But yeah, it's a beautiful beer here, guys. The first thing I noticed is that my beer glass is not entirely clean. I've got a little bit of little bubbles on the side there. Yeah, pro tip: if you're ever out enjoying a nice beer somewhere, whether that be a bar, a brewery, a friend's house, and they pour you a beer and there's the bubbles adhere to the side of the glass, that means that glass is dirty. Kind of something you learn in beer service or in the Cicerone circles is that that's an easy way to tell if a glass is clean or not. So if you ever get that in an establishment, don't feel bad to send that beer back, because it means that the glass has not been properly cleaned. What it comes down to, and I know I'm completely derailing this video, but this is good stuff to know. Basically, it means that there's microorganisms or dirt or some type of bacteria that the beer is adhering to, that the CO2 is adhering to there on the side of the glass. I've got a few of those here, not much. I guess I didn't give this one a good enough rinse through. But pro tip there, we're always learning. That's a win. But beautiful beer here, golden in color, less hazy than the last two beers that we've seen. You can almost see completely through this glass. There's a little bit of a haze there, not much. You can see those CO2 bubbles are rising to the top. It's just a beautiful looking beer. Nice head on this beer too. It is, and it's staying too, about a centimeter and a half worth of white head that is staying there. And yeah, it just looks to be a very beautiful beer. At first look, when I poured it out, I almost thought, kind of almost looked like a lager, as fresh and as crisp and as clean as it was. But it's definitely an ale, definitely an IPA. But yeah, beautiful beer. Let's see what we've got on the nose. Oh wow, this is wonderful. Oh my gosh. I'd almost say this one has a better aroma, or a more fragrant aroma than the Juice Willis had. And if you remember, that one was rather juicy, rather juice forward. This is just great IPA. One moment. Great citrus, maybe faint hints of some tropical fruit notes. Just again, smells very juicy, but less of that juicy, more so hops. You just great hops. Maybe even some grassiness or pininess in there, I would say. Oh, it's wonderful. Very different beer. I wish I had all three to kind of compare them together. I might try to do that next time they release these beers, just because it's so neat to pick up on the intricacies and the differences between them. Oh wow, this just looking at it and just giving it a smell seems to be kind of more of the middle of the road IPA. I don't want to say middle of the road isn't a bad thing, but you had the Mango Milkshake, which was the Big Fat Juicy, which was the Mango Milkshake IPA, heavy on the juice, heavy on the mango, had the lactose added to it. Just a very, very different kind of beer. Then you had Juice Willis, which was like that New England style. This is kind of standard IPA, but going more towards the tropical and citrus notes. The flagship IPA, or soon to be flagship IPA, I would say, of Sycamore is and it just left me, Mountain Candy. This kind of reminds me of that, and I'll do a review on Mountain Candy here soon as well. I've actually been picking these up. But enough of the derails. kind of gone off track a couple times. I want to taste this beer. Let's see what we've got. Cheers. Oh, that's good. That's good. This is a great beer. Great beer, but yet very different from the other two that we've had, the Big Fat Juicy and the Juice Willis, and very different from Mountain Candy as well. Again, I need to drink them side by side to really pick up on all these intricacies. The first thing I notice about this one is how easy drinking it is. It hits the palate. It's, oh, this tastes so good. As far as the malt bill goes, white bread kind of sitting in the background. A nice hoppy flavor, nice bitterness that hits you mid-taste, hits the palate mid-taste, and lasts throughout. Not much of a lingering bitterness, which is nice. You still want to continue to take sips, though, which is a win. I'm getting some citrus and tropical fruit in there. There's a fruit that's kind of sitting at the forefront, but I can't put my finger on it. I want to say papaya, but I haven't eaten a papaya in who knows how long. Not like many people do anyways. But it's a different kind of fruit flavor that's kind of sitting there, and it's very tasty. As soon as you swallow, there's a nice bitterness that sits on the palate, but then after a few seconds, it kind of fades out, which is nice. Again, the beer drink's different from the last two that we've had, and then from their flagship Mountain Candy as well. But very, very pleasant, very light, very light to medium. I think it's easy drinking. I really enjoy the bitterness here. Again, I feel like in the last couple of beers, you kind of had that juicy aspect that balanced out some of the bitterness. The bitterness kind of sits here on the palate for a while and then slowly fades away. But I would say it's more prominent than the other two beers, which is nice. Again, just the brewers doing an amazing job creating different things with different hop schedules and different mash schedules, and just getting creative, and I love it. Four very, very, I don't want to say similar, but IPA type beers that all drink and taste very differently. So cheers to Sycamore on that. Rainbow Dust is a good one for sure. If you've had this one, let me know what you think. If you've had any of these Sycamore beers, please let me know what you think. Again, they're doing a phenomenal job as of late. They're killing it. Just doing a really, really great job with their beers. And I'm really enjoying them. I wish I had a couple more of these actually. As I continue to talk, some of that bitterness is actually coming back, which is nice. I need to take another sip. Yeah, it's a good beer. Very good beer. Thank you so much again for following along. I'm having a ton of fun. I hope you are as well. Let me know what you think. Hope you have a great night, and cheers.